Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, or if you're first time here, welcome to my channel. Today here in Taipei, the weather is so freaking good. There's like sunshine out, so it's perfect. It's crazy how we're approaching the end of 2024. We are entering into 2025 soon. So I thought that it's a really good time to do this kind of end of year reflection, as I believe a lot of you guys would also do. Just a background information if you don't know me. So I have been working as a full-time content creator for the past 2 years since the start of 2023. It's still right now like a one-person business. I don't have any employee. Like I just do everything myself. I work as my own boss, and yeah, I've been doing that for the past 2 years. I think it's a really good timing to just like reflect on all this, on like different aspects of what is it like to work as your own boss. So if you're interested in this like kind of entrepreneur, freelance, or this kind of like be your own boss kind of job, then yeah, I think this video will be helpful. Actually, I talk about like a similar topic in my podcast channel. So if you are interested in exploring more about this topic, then you can check my podcast episode out. That one, I'll just link it somewhere here. So anyway, the first thing that I want to talk about is about productivity and work habits. So I think for the past 2 years, one of the most common questions that I received are, isn't it super difficult to keep yourself disciplined when you are just like working for yourself? You don't have like a boss out there, or like a superiors, like a leaders out there just like telling you what to do and when to submit your things. So isn't it difficult to just like motivate yourself or to push yourself to do things? If it's like not because someone pushed you to do something and there isn't really like any consequences of not doing something, then it is totally understandable that we just wouldn't do them, right? We would just like lie there and just do like, I don't know, maybe you just like go out, hang out with friends, or you just like watch Netflix series and instead of actually doing the work that you're supposed to do. So the thing is, I think since you already like jump into this world, take a leap into this world, I think it is super important to make sure that the majority of your job is really like something that you genuinely want to do, or like you actually love doing, like you are passionate about doing, or it is something that is meaningful for you, that you think that it's bringing values to others, it is helping others. If you find these two things, then I think you don't really need to discipline yourself to do the work that you're supposed to do. You would just do them, right? Like for example, if it's just something that you want to do, then even if you're like maybe a bit tired, or maybe you want to do something else, then I think you will still do them because that is something that you want to do. I hope that makes sense. And if that is something that you felt like it's meaningful for you, you felt the purpose, you think it's helping others by sharing that kind of thing, or doing that kind of service, or doing that kind of work, then I think it is also a very intrinsic motive for you to just go do that kind of things. So I think it is important to make sure a lot of your work, the majority of your work, when you are like being your own boss, is consists of these kind of work. Either the work that you want to do, you love to do, or the work you find meaningful, you find purposeful, or you think that it's going to help others, or both. I think ideally both. I think if you find this kind of work, you no longer really need to discipline yourself to do your work, because you just would have this intrinsic motive to do them. So the second thing that I want to share with you guys is money and finances. I think a lot of you guys are interested in learning about how much did I earn as a full-time content creator for the past 2 years. So yeah, like I'll share with you guys today. Like sometimes it can be kind of awkward to talk about money, but I think in order to know more about how is it like how do you earn money, especially as a content creator, I think it is important to share. For the past 1.5 years actually, because I only started to monetize my channel around last May, so I would just count it like around 1.5 years. I earned around, like after taxes, because yeah, I do need to pay taxes. So after tax, I earn around 7,300 US dollars. And I also did some sponsorship deals. So just like after I added all the AdSense that I received and also the sponsorship deal that I did, I made around like 10,000 US dollars for the past 2 years. You might be wondering, like, since I'm doing it full time right now, it means that I can survive out of my earnings? And the answer is no, I couldn't survive out of my earnings right now. The only reason that I was able to do this full time is because my parents are super just supportive. So I still get to live with my parents. I live at my parents' place. And also, like, my mom cooks a lot, so I also rarely go to restaurants. I rarely eat outside. So basically, I don't really need to spend anything on my just like basic needs and also my living fee, which helps like immensely. So that's why I can do it full time. So I think just because I know I'm in a very fortunate position of like being able to do this full time, so it really motivated me to just keep sharing my experiences and knowledge that I think can bring values to you guys, to people on the internet, because I just feel like not everyone are fortunate enough to be able to do content creation full time. Regarding the money and finances part, when you are like just working for yourself as your own boss, I find it really different when you compare it with more traditional job. Because in a traditional job, I think it can be more straightforward because you just do your job and in the end of the month you receive your salary. But I think as someone that just work for yourself, you really need to spend a lot of time on trying to just increase your income streams and try to find different ways to earn monies. And sometimes it can be really difficult, like how to do that, you know, like you need to find like a way to do that and then try to do that, because it's not always going to work out. And that's one of the reasons why I started my Patreon, because yeah, just like by my earnings from the sponsorship and also my AdSense, it's just so unstable, so volatile. So if you have some time, please go check out my Patreon page, and it would be great if you can support me on that platform, and will help me a lot to keep creating. So I think that's really probably one of the most difficult things for me as a self-employed person, because I really need to get creative sometimes, even to try to find different ways to earn money, you know, in order to survive. Otherwise, it is very difficult to make your income stable. I think some of you guys might also be wondering, is it sustainable working as your own boss, doing this for a long time, or is it just something that maybe you can only do for 2-3 years and you burned all your money and then you're like done and then you have to go back to office work? So the thing is about being your own boss, I think it's this, that you just have to learn to tolerate, to accept the uncertainty lying in front of you. Like, no one can say what would happen in the future. Maybe you will need to go back to office work in order to earn money to survive, or maybe not. You can keep doing the thing that you want to do, to freelance or to be your own boss, to be an entrepreneur. We never know what will happen, but we just need to learn to live with this kind of uncertainty. And I know for me, I think it is important for me. And I think I'm already slowly developing this kind of like very optimistic outlook that I just feel like I can figure something out eventually. So I don't really need to worry too much about the money and finances part. As long as I'm sure that I'm doing something that brings values to people, that are helping others, that, you know, make me happy at the same time, that I find meaningful, that I find purposeful, and I think I can figure something out in the end of the day. So I'm just gonna be okay. For some of you guys, it might sound a bit silly, like, what's the logic behind it? Like, there's no logic behind it. You just have to be like optimistic about this outlook in your near future. Otherwise, I think it's easy to just be overwhelmed by the anxiety of how uncertain the future holds. Hi guys, I'm on a tree. So The next point, the next theme that I want to share with you guys is about lifestyle and freedom. My shoes, wait a minute. The ultimate thing that I am trying to chase and to have in life is freedom. Really, like for me, freedom is the top 3 most important thing in my life. You know, what I mean by freedom is you are free to do whatever you want to do the moment you wake up until the moment you go to bed to sleep. That's for me freedom. Like you just get to do whatever you want to do when you are awake. For example, just I get to manage my own time, manage my own energy, and also where my location is. For example, when the weather is good like this one, I get to have the freedom to just come outside and enjoy the perfect weather instead of being, for example, stuck in like an office corner. Whenever I want to be able to spend time with my loved ones instead of being maybe occupied by a lot of work, a lot of tasks, and also like to do things that I find meaningful, that I find purposeful, that I am passionate in life. You know, all these things for me is freedom, and it's so freaking important. It is, yes, literally the ultimate thing that I'm trying to chase, trying to have in life. Me decided to be my own boss, to work for myself. It's really like the first step toward achieving this state of freedom. Wait, I should have wear a skirt today. Yeah, I'm on top of the tree right now. Okay. So guys, the next thing, I feel like I'm on the stage right now, just like giving out like a speech, a TED Talk. Next point that I want to share with you guys is about personal growth. I actually learned so many things, and I think I grew like professionally and personally, both aspects, so much. 2 years ago, I didn't know how to script, film, or edit, and I learned everything from the scratch. I have no idea how to reach out to brand, to negotiate, to talk, to reach like a sponsorship deal, and also how to promote myself, to promote my own work. And also, just like what I said before, to learn to keep myself disciplined, to find a way that really is going to be sustainable when it comes to motivate myself to do the work that I'm supposed to do. And also how to get used to solving problems myself. You know, right? Like when you are working for yourself, you don't have like a boss or like a superiors or like even your colleagues, your team to ask when you encounter a challenge, when you encounter a problem. You just gotta learn how to solve them yourself. And also, when you're working completely yourself, you have a lot of alone time. It might be like, it's like difficult, a bit challenging to get used to that. But the more you do that, the more you realize how precious it is that during your alone time, you just really get to think clearly and reflect on what you truly want in life, what you want to do, which direction you want to head to, what projects you would like to embark on next. You just got all this time to reflect a lot and to think a lot yourself. Oh my God, I love this weather. I wish like in Taiwan, every day is gonna be like this. I think I grew too much and I couldn't really summarize it in this video. So yeah, maybe I'll talk about it more in my Patreon video. Look at this cute doggy. Guys, so look at this thing. It's like a good thing to motivate people to exercise, I guess, if it's like actually working. So basically, if you do this and you will take a look at that thing, that tube, and then the water will come out if you're like fast enough. The next thing that I want to share with you guys is about mental health and well-being in general. So I think for the past 2 years, my mental health has been, and my well-being in general has been one of the best since I graduated from university. Sometimes it's kind of sad to see like when we're like still students, a lot of us were like carefree, happy, but once we enter into workplace, our energy level dropped, and then it's kind of like just depressing. I think one of the reasons why my mental health has been this good for the past 2 years is really because freedom is so important for me. Just like what I mentioned in the previous point, that my ability to manage my own time, to decide my own location, to decide where I want to spend my energy at, it is also so important for me to just devoting myself to do things that I find meaningful and is important to me. I think all these things in combination is making my mental health being so good. I'm not saying that I don't have any worries or challenges or problems in life. I still encounter them often in my life. However, I just love the fact that I have all this freedom to decide what to spend my time on, because time is really the most valuable thing in life. And also, the next thing that I want to share with you guys is about my personal relationship with people. Working for myself and working at something that I'm just really passionate about and I find meaningful, that I really like, helps me to connect and also reconnect with a lot of people, which is something that is surprising for me. When you're actually doing something that you think is really important, that you find very valuable, that you find very meaningful, you just naturally attract people who also value what you do. When it comes to a lot of thoughts that I have, for example, I realized that I am not alone in having all these thoughts, all these worries, all these challenges. And this kind of feeling is just amazing, whether to actually connect in this way with people around me, or like you guys, my internet friend. Regarding the reconnecting with people's part, like a lot of times we have like so many acquaintances in life, but I find out that after I started to do the things that I want to do, my acquaintances, my friends, like the people that I haven't talked for so long, sometimes they will just reach out to me and just like encourage me and support me, which I find is just amazing how just by doing what I love to do, by sharing my thoughts, my experiences, my knowledge on the internet, can have all this like ripple effect on all of this like amazing things. Guys, I'm a little bit scared, but I'll be good. What? Fuck, my skirt. The last thing that I want to share with you in this video is about lessons and reflection. So I think for me, by creating content, just sharing my experiences, my knowledge, my thoughts, I found a meaning that is bigger than myself. Up until 2 years ago, I focus all my energy on just myself. For example, how to build a good resume, how to build a good, outstanding LinkedIn profile, apply to prestigious schools, find a good job, or to develop more skills, to get more certificates in order to stand out from the crowd, just pursuing a career that would allow me to earn a lot of money, etc., etc. I just focus all my energy on myself. Of course, there's nothing wrong with that, but I think by finding like a meaning that is bigger than myself, what I'm doing right now, it's really not about me anymore. I'm also focusing on others, about how I could bring values to others, how I can help others in a way that I find meaningful. And I really like a quote that I read on a book called Show Your Work. It says, "Find your voice, shout it from the rooftops, and keep doing it until the people that are looking for you find you." By sharing my content online, I'm not only sharing it with you guys, but also sharing it with potential audience, viewers, and people out there who are trying to look for this piece of content. So even when I encounter challenges in life, I think this sense of purposefulness always motivates me to not give up, to overcome the challenges that I encounter, and to just motivate me to just keep going and keep doing what I believe is good, is valuable to the society, to the world. Yeah, that's the end of today's video. It's kind of windy, so it's kind of scary staying at this place. Thank you so much, guys, for watching today's video, this end of year reflections of mine. I hope you find it interesting or helpful, and I'll see you again. It's kind of scary. I'll see you again in the next video. Bye bye. Bye bye. And I'm going down.